Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into a royal drama that's shaking the monarchy to its core. Tom Bower, the acclaimed royal biographer, just delivered a savage takedown of Prince Harry, exposing what many are calling Harry's desperation and Meghan Markle's manipulation behind the scenes. You don't want to miss this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell right now, so you never miss a royal scoop like this.
Do you remember when Prince Harry said this last week? Oh, boo-hoo. Yeah, that's when he was complaining after losing a court appeal demanding British taxpayers fund his security on visits to the UK. He lost the case, of course, because he and Meghan chose to step away from the royal family and embark on a life of celebrity in America. But as a reminder, he went whinging to the BBC about how he can only come to the UK if he's officially invited, which would give him a security team. Well, surprise, surprise, it turns out Prince Harry is a massive raging hypocrite. Take a look at this picture obtained by the Sun newspaper today. It's the Duke of Sussex himself, pictured on a doorbell camera, calling at houses in a London street as he looked for a friend's home. Harry, who has always insisted he feels unsafe without armed cops, tried his luck at 3 random houses before finally finding the right one. It gives a whole new meaning to the game knock down ginger, doesn't it? One resident said their housekeeper opened the door but didn't recognise Harry. And another source told The Sun 2 of the houses he knocked at are at complete opposite ends of the road, which is about half a mile long. It's a bit odd he didn't seem to have a clue which house he was aiming for. I don't think many people would just walk down a road knocking on doors, let alone if you don't feel safe. The Sun on Sunday previously revealed Harry also stayed at a friend's private home and, against security protocols, had a Deliveroo sent to the front door. So let's just recap for a second, shall we? Harry's been battling the Home Office in the courts demanding taxpayers, you and I, fund huge armed police teams for when he visits the UK. He's been complaining he simply can't bring his family to Britain without armed police and refuses to fund his own private security because he's entitled to British coppers. Yet at the same time, he's gallivanting up and down a busy London road, there he is again, that picture, knocking on random doors, all by himself, trying to find a friend's house without so much as an advisor in tow. And by the way, it was less than a year ago that Harry and Meghan were given a stately welcome to Colombia, one of the most dangerous countries on earth, in what critics called a faux royal tour. Time and time again, Harry and Meghan have both proved themselves less than reliable when it comes to the truth and left wanting in their constant pleas for sympathy. And tonight, I actually feel sorry for the King, King Charles, who, much like Meghan Markle's father, Thomas, can't see his grandchildren because of Harry and Meghan's behaviour. If Harry feels unsafe enough to walk down a London street without security, banging on doors and getting food delivered via Deliveroo, surely he can arrange to bring his kids to see their unwell grandfather at one of the very many well-protected royal households across Britain. For me, Harry's making a deliberate decision to keep his children away from the King, and it's a big crying shame. Joining me now to discuss this is the royal biographer Tom Bower, author of Rebel King, and of course the 2022 bombshell Revenge, Meghan, Harry and the War Between the Windsors. Tom, good evening, nice to see you. What do you make of this picture? I mean, I opened the Sun newspaper this morning, I just couldn't believe my eyes.
I think it just shows what a desperately sad man Harry is. But on the other hand, it does show that the litigation he brought against the Home Office was not really only about protection. He knew very well that he wasn't going to get it. I think it was all about trying to embarrass the King. It was about destroying the monarchy. It was about all the time me, and Meghan. And very much it was Harry wanting to say that he is somebody who can make huge problems for his family. And I'm not totally surprised by this. I'd heard he's pretty desperate. He was looking for company. I think that really is the issue. Harry feels completely isolated from Britain. And what's remarkable about that particular Sun exclusive is that he didn't have one of his bodyguards, who he pays a lot of money to go and find his friend. It just shows, really, that Harry's pretty incompetent above everything else.
The hypocrisy exposed. Harry's security drama. So here's the deal. Prince Harry has been fighting the UK government to have taxpayers fund his security every time he visits Britain. He insists he can't come back safely without armed guards. But guess what? Recent photos surfaced of Harry wandering alone on a London street.
Yeah, I mean, it's just insane. As I said in the introduction, it just lays bare the rank hypocrisy. What do you make, Tom, of these accusations that Harry is using his children as a weapon, I guess, against his family? He's basically been accused of saying, look, give me this protection, or, Father, King Charles, you're not going to see the kids because I just simply can't bring them to the UK.
Prince Harry, the man who's demanded armed security from the British government, was just seen wandering down a London street, knocking on random doors like a lost child. According to Tom Bauer, this is a sign of how desperate and isolated Harry has become. No security detail, no entourage, just Harry stumbling around trying to find a friend's house. And let's not forget, this is the same Harry who claimed he couldn't safely return to the UK without armed guards. Yet here he is walking down a busy road, alone and vulnerable. What happened to all those security fears, Harry? Or was that just another phony PR stunt to milk sympathy? Exactly, it's hypocrisy on a royal scale, and Harry's losing whatever credibility he had left.
Of course, it's blackmail, emotional blackmail, and that's what he's been doing for some time. And unfortunately, it's something as well his mother did against Charles. The one point about all this is that Charles is not well, obviously. He's got cancer and being treated. And Harry is using that as a lever too. I think he did that interview because he was incandescent that in the end his litigation failed. It cost him allegedly £1.5 million and got him nowhere. And he shouldn't have started in the first place. The point about Harry is he doesn't know what to do anymore. He's losing all sorts of relations in Britain. He hasn't got a purpose. He's embarrassed with his charities in Africa because not only the Centre charity, but also Africa Parks is now causing him great problems. Invictus is really only once every 2 years. He's losing any reason for being the prince. And I think he's now realizing, slowly but surely, he made a terrible mistake by leaving. And this is what it's all about now. Make me an offer so I don't cause you too much embarrassment in the future.
No security, no entourage, just knocking on random doors trying to find a friend's house. Talk about a massive contradiction, right? This isn't the behaviour of someone who truly fears for their safety. It's the ultimate hypocrisy, and it's got royal experts calling him out hard. If you're shocked by this story, smash that like button and subscribe for more updates as this unfolds.
Tom, just finally, do you think Harry's happy? Because Meghan, in the past couple of hours, she's posted some pictures of their date night last night, watching Beyonce in concert. We've got some pictures here. This is what Meghan put online a couple of hours ago. Harry there. I mean, he's smiling. He looks happy. He's wearing a pretty funky hat. This is a selfie. He looks slightly sweaty, as you'd expect at a concert, I guess. And Meghan also posted this picture of inside Harry's hat. So there's a British flag, there's a flag of the United States, there's the outline of the continent of Africa, there's Archie, Lily, and the words "my love," which I think is Meghan's nickname, right, Tom? Do you think he's happy, really, Harry?
I think they're just actually brilliant media manipulators. It is extraordinary how the moment one headline comes up, or like the one in the Sun, or the moment Kate does something with her children, the Montecito media machine gets whirring up, immediately gets the retaliation in. And this is really all just part of the battle. No, he's not happy. She's clearly very unhappy because she's had some terrible reviews for her programmes. But all they can do all the time is fire pot shots. Yeah. And we on this side are enjoying the spectacle because there's only one way that this can end in the end, and that's badly. But there's a lot more peaks and troughs and hijinks to go before we really see the climax of this astonishing saga.
Yeah, the Sussex psychodrama, as they call it. Tom Bauer, thank you for your company. Really appreciate it. Let's get the thoughts of my panel now. The former Labour advisor Paul Richards, former Scotland Yard detective Peter Blexley, and the journalist and broadcaster Linda Jubilee. Good evening, panel. Have you had a nice day in the sun?
Lovely, thanks.
Good. You all look quite spring-like.
Yeah, we're looking good.
Ready to go.
Linda, the Lib Dem. Paul, the Green.
If only.
Peter, the... what are you?
You take a guess.
Peter, you're just Blexley. You don't need a nickname. Linda, let's start with you. Ladies first. Do you feel sorry for Harry? I do. He looks thoroughly miserable in my book.
And here's where things get dark and disturbing. According to Tom Bauer, Harry is now using his children as weapons against King Charles. He's essentially saying, "Give me what I want or you'll never see Archie and Lilibet again." Bauer even compares Harry's behavior to Princess Diana, claiming she did the same thing with Charles. But this time it's not just emotional manipulation. It's emotional blackmail. Harry knows that King Charles is battling cancer, and instead of being a supportive son, he's using that illness as leverage. It's cold. It's calculated. And it's absolutely disgusting. Tom Bauer is right. Harry's playing a dangerous game and Meghan is the one calling the shots. And here's the smoking gun. Right after Harry was caught knocking on doors in London, looking like a man who's lost everything, Meghan posted a series of happy selfies from a Beyoncé concert. It's the classic Meghan move. Distract the media, spin the narrative, and pretend everything's fine. But Dr. G, the forensic psychologist, calls it what it is, a desperate PR stunt to make Harry look happy when he's clearly miserable and broken.
The future of the royal family. What's next? With King Charles reportedly battling cancer, the family drama is more intense than ever. Harry's refusal to bring his children to see their grandfather is sparking serious questions about family loyalty and responsibility.
I don't know that I feel sorry for him. I'm becoming increasingly irritated by him. And although this kind of reveals something about my age, I was actually outside the hospital where the Lindo wing is when he was born. I was one of the reporters doorstepping the hospital. So I've reported it on him across a lifetime. And I'd be the first to say that when his mother died, it was his treatment, really, by the royal family was completely appalling. But he has to be able to put the past behind him, and he has never succeeded in being able to do that. And right now, the whole idea of making taxpayers or asking taxpayers to fork out for his security, when he knows perfectly well that everyone is having a really, really hard time with the economy at the moment, is unrealistic. I'd say more than unrealistic, it's almost narcissistic the way he behaves.
But Paul, his argument is that he, by law, should be entitled to this. That other people who aren't members of the royal family, who are private citizens, get this level of security through the Home Office. So he has accused the establishment of stitching him up because he chose to leave the royal family.
I mean, it reminds me a little bit of that scene in Love Actually where the Prime Minister is knocking on doors to try and find the girl of his dreams. But Hugh Grant in the movie had a copper with him, and this guy now is just wandering about London without any protection.
I mean, that's insane, isn't it? What's going through his head doing that?
Very, very dangerous thing. And, you know, not taking on the arguments about whether he should have security or not, that's been settled by the courts. But, you know, he did serve in Afghanistan, and there are people who would quite like to assassinate the son of a king, you know, who hate Britain. And to put himself in harm's way like that just seems daft. Where were the security detail? Did he dismiss them? What's going on?
What do you make of this picture on the screen? Peter Blexley, former Met Police detective. I mean, what would you say to Harry if you were his security advisor?
Well, I've supplied security to higher net worth individuals in the private sector. So I've protected people similar to him. And for him to be able to go walkabout down a London street without a security detail will have been his decision and his alone. And only he can make that decision if he is paying the security company. So I should strongly suspect that's what he's done. Now, when I read his book, Spare, I was absolutely astonished at the amount of drug taking he admitted to. And in my experience, when somebody stands down their security team, it's because they're going off to do something they don't want their security to know about.
I mean, I don't think we can say he was going to his mates to have a sex.
I hadn't quite finished, but, you know, maybe he was going round his mates for a pizza and a bit of something that he might have, you know, sourced from Colombia. Maybe he wasn't.
Oh, no.
Or maybe he wasn't.
Yikes.
But normally, people stand down their security team because they're going to do things they don't want their team to know about.
Well, obviously, Prince Harry's not here to defend himself on that. I mean, it's completely... I have to say, Peter, it's completely baseless. I mean, you are putting two...
And I said maybe. I said maybe. I didn't say was. I said maybe. Who knows? We don't know.
Peter Blexley, a former Scotland Yard detective, puts it best. Harry is making a fool of himself. This is a man who demanded armed security, claiming the UK was too dangerous for him and his family. And now he's caught wandering the streets of London, knocking on doors like a lost tourist. No security, no entourage. Just Harry looking disoriented and desperate. Blexley even says it's a security nightmare. Anyone with a grudge could have easily targeted Harry, and he would have been completely defenseless. Is Harry too far gone to realize the danger he's putting himself in? Or is this just another PR stunt gone horribly wrong? Blexley nails it. Harry's not just losing his mind, he's losing his grip on reality. Tom Bower wraps it up with a chilling prediction. Harry and Meghan are spiraling out of control, and it's only a matter of time before the whole thing implodes.
In his book, he talks about, was it magic mushrooms, smoking weed, and cocaine as well, of course. What do you make, though, Linda, of these pictures that Meghan's put up tonight? Tom Bower just said there's a PR exercise if we can get them back up.
Oh,
they went to a Beyonce concert, they're happy. They're in love with Linda. Look at them, they're having a great time on a date night.
It's all a charade.
Total.
It's a total grandstanding charade.
What do you think of his hat?
I actually quite like the hat, but nevertheless, I think the way they cavort around, they don't have any self-awareness at all about what people must think. They need to stop all of this, stop all the Netflix stuff, stop all the stuff that leans on all their connections, and start thinking about how they might actually make a meaningful documentary and how they might actually, for example, amplify the Invictus Games or start a new charity or add to some good work.
Well, how are they going to make a living if they don't carry on with all this tripe that they keep churning out?
Don't you think the hat is a bit bonkers, though? What's it got, like writing and stuff on the inside?
It says Archie, Lily and My Love. My Love is the nickname for Meghan.
Who has that in a hat?
Paul, do you think Prince Harry, finally, before we move on, Prince Harry said that he's going to be asking Keir Starmer for help in this process to try to reform the security arrangements with the Home Office and so on?
I can't see it because of the reasons that have been discussed in law, but also just in terms of public opinion. I think he's made his own bed, he has to lie in it now.
Yeah, all right. I had, viewers at home, I had made a private pledge never to, A, do trans topics again, which I've stuck to, and B, not talk about Meghan or Harry. But this picture this morning, I woke up and I was astounded. The incompetence, the hypocrisy, I just had to do it. I had to cover it off. So there we go. Let us know what you think. What a story, by the way. A great tabloid story from my old friends at The Sun.
Tom Bower warns this saga is far from over, predicting more public fallouts and media battles before things settle, if they ever do. What do you think? Will Harry come back to the family or continue down this lonely road? Drop your thoughts below, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe so you're always in the loop. Alright, that's the full breakdown of Tom Bower's savage critique and the royal chaos unfolding with Harry and Meghan. This story is heating up fast, and I'll be right here covering every twist and turn. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with your friends who love royal gossip. Don't forget to subscribe for more explosive royal exposés every week. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next video.